A starter guide to self-improvement. Staying calm, composed, and maintaining good self-esteem in today's tough environment can be difficult, but it is not impossible if a few simple principles are followed. To get you started, here are 6 self-improvement strategies. Everything and everyone around you has the potential to affect your self-esteem. Others can either intentionally or accidentally harm your self-image. Individuals and events that go unchecked can gradually harm your self-esteem and drag you down in ways you are unaware of. Don't let these forces get the best of you. What, on the other hand, should you avoid? 1. Unfavorable working conditions. Be aware of a dog-eat-dog environment in which everyone is competing for the upper hand. People who are unappreciative thrive in environments where going above and above is expected but not rewarded. Even if you skip lunch and supper and work late, no one will recognize your successes in this environment. Unless you are really fortunate, you will have to work too hard most of the time with no help from others. As a result of being in this type of environment, your self-esteem will decrease. This isn't healthy competition, it's harsh and terribly damaging at its worst. 2. Other people's behavior. Bulldozers, brown-nosers, gossip-mongers, whiners, backstabbers, snipers, persons walking wounded, controllers, naggers, complainers, exploders, patronizers, sluffers, whatever you want to call them, they all have one thing in common: the desire to prosper at the expense of others. Avoid them at all costs, as well as any temptation to join them. They may profit in the short term from their deeds, but the majority are terribly insecure, unhappy, and ashamed of their actions. The majority of people's self-esteem has lost for a long time. It's heartbreaking to see someone like this flourish, but don't follow in their footsteps, you're better than that. 3. An altering environment. It is difficult, if not impossible, to escape change in today's fast-paced culture. Changes put our paradigms to the test, putting our adaptability, flexibility, and ability to think in new ways to the test. Change can be unpleasant and stressful, but if it is unavoidable, you must embrace it, rather than resist it, and finally find ways to improve your life. Attempt to manage change and avoid making several modifications at the same time. If a certain change cannot be avoided, accept it. Change is unavoidable, we must learn to live with it. 4. Previous work experience. We all have baggage or past experiences that have shaped us into who we are now, but some people live in their past experiences, which are usually painful and continue to be painful. It's normal to cry when you're in pain, but don't let misery take over your life, since it will manifest as anxiety and phobias. Find a way to reduce the impact if anything painful happens or has happened to you. If necessary, discuss it with a friend, family member, or a professional, and then move on. Don't let it continue to govern your life and dictate your future decisions. Because something unpleasant has happened before, it does not follow that it will happen again. Learn as much as you can from any negative experience and move on. 5. Pessimistic worldview. The news is full of doom and gloom, and it is true that many people throughout the world are suffering from war, famine, or other natural or man-made tragedies. While I do not advocate for you to be indifferent and do nothing, keep in mind that there are many beautiful, positive things going on as well. Don't get caught up in all the unpleasant things in the world. Learn to look for beauty as well, because in order to create self-esteem, we must learn how to be optimistic in a negative world. 6. Theory of determination. Are we the result of our biologically inherent characteristics or the influences we absorb throughout our lives? I believe that how we are is the consequence of a combination of nurture and nature, and that our behavioral traits are not fixed as a result. While some things are determined by genetics, for example, ethnicity, color, and many inherited illnesses, your environment and the people in your life have a significant impact on your behavior. You are your own person with your own identity and decisions to make. Your mother's or father's characteristics do not determine your fate. Learn from other people's errors so you don't make the same ones. Is it possible to be born a leader or a positive thinker? No, not at all. Being and remaining positive is a decision. Building self-esteem and using positive events to enhance oneself is a decision, not a rule or a talent. Nobody will approach you and offer you permission to improve yourself and your self-esteem. It is entirely within your power. It can be difficult to maintain a cheerful attitude, especially when people and events appear to be conspiring against you. You must safeguard yourself and give yourself a chance to remain positive. Improving your self-esteem provides you with such security. One method to stay optimistic is to limit your exposure to negative influences while boosting the positive effects in your life through affirmations. Reminding yourself of the positive aspects of your life on a regular basis will reduce the impact of negative influences.